Oftentimes, we know if we're going to like a fragrance from the very opening. We don't need to give it 4, 5, 6 hours to dry down before we determine if we like it or not. These are 10 fragrances that got me addicted from the very beginning, from second one all the way until the dry down, until it completely disappeared. I was in love. These are 10 fragrances that got me addicted from the very start. I'm excited to share this list with you, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I tell you all about these 10 fragrances that had me hooked and addicted from the very beginning, I could live with the atomizer of these fragrances under my nose for an interminable amount of time. I want to start things off by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you could be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or if you took something of value from today's episode. It would really mean a lot to me. I also want to mention that if you're interested in sampling any or all of these fragrances, you may do so at scentsplit.com. I'm going to leave all of the links down below. Most, if not all of these fragrances can be sampled at ScentSplit. I believe they carry all of these fragrances. I didn't do my due diligence and double check and cross-reference, so I do apologize for that. But I know for certain the majority of these fragrances are available at ScentSplit. Great for purchasing decants if you just want to try like 2 milliliters or 5 milliliters, whatever, if you don't want to commit to a full bottle, especially if you wear certain fragrances sparingly or on a special occasion. I think they would be fantastic for that. The first fragrance I want to talk about, when I tried the original, I was hooked. 1270 Extreme by Frappon. This fragrance in particular, the dried fruits, the pineapple, the cognac, that booziness, the sweetness. Wow, this fragrance is so addictive. I mean, the original is amazing. You want something with a bit more lasting power. This is fantastic. Jerome Epinette is the perfumer. He's done some amazing fragrances. We also have Pardon by Nasomato. This was one of the first Nasomato fragrances I ever tried. The first one was Duro. Tried Duro, then Pardon, then Black Afghano, then I think Hindu Grass, and then obviously I ended up collecting like a dozen Nasomato fragrances, or a bit short of that, I would say. I don't have them all. But this one, the chocolate, the magnolia, it's floral, it's sensual, it's creamy, it's sweet. It has this dulce chocolatey aroma that is to die for. I really love Pardon by Nasomato. I love the smoothness, love that bold characteristic that it has, extrait de parfum, so it's very strong. Latent Exclusive. There's something dark and exotic about this fragrance versus the original Latent, which, you know, it has the apple, it has the lavender, it has the vanilla. This fragrance, I think it has Laotian oud. It's a bit darker, it has a bit of a peppery characteristic, a bit more woodsy, but I love this one. There's something so richly complex about it that I really can't, let go of. Now, this is one of my favorite fragrances that I discovered last year, and I think it's absolutely exquisite. This one by Narcotica is Dulce Diablo. Composed by Claude Durr, this fragrance has peach, apricot, booze, chocolate, vanilla, caramel. It is one of the most delicious fragrances I've ever tried in my life. And you can't make a gourmand list possibly without including Dulce Diablo by Narcotica. The next fragrance where I can live with this atomizer under my nose forever is A Midsummer Dream by, I was almost going to say Shakespeare, by Raja Parfum. This fragrance has elemi resin, grapefruit, some smooth woods. It has such a unique personality about it. You try something like Elysium. God, I've been wearing Elysium since 2017, right? We're talking 6 years now, almost. That fragrance, very bright, citrusy. It has its own unique personality to it. A Midsummer Night's Dream, though, or A Midsummer Dream, pardon me, is an amazing elemi, resinous, not sweet, but balsamic, citrusy, quirky type of a fragrance. Delectable. Of course, we also have Black Caviar by Electimus London. I couldn't make up my mind. I really wanted to include Amber Acalaria. Puritas is another fantastic incense fragrance, but that fragrance for me personally didn't really fit the bill in terms of addiction. Very tranquil, very meditative. I wouldn't say addictive. This fragrance, it kind of has like this creamy, lactonic presence. It's a bit aquatic. It has this caviar note in there, which, caviar is fish eggs, right? So it's going to smell a little salty. but there's this rich smoothness about it. It's woodsy, very exotic smelling, very expensive smelling, and I really do like the opulence that it conveys. We also have Enclave by Amouage. Enclave is phenomenal. It's sweet, it's balsamic, it's spicy, but it has this mint in the opening that is done very brightly, and I just love that sort of odd couple, sort of a personality that's in there with the mint and the sweet ingredients. And every time I wear this one, I always feel like, I made the right choice. Definitely has the ability to do that. As of late, I've been absolutely loving this Xerjoff fragrance, Tony Iommi Monkey Special, which was a collaboration with, of course, the musical artist Tony Iommi. This fragrance, the caramel, the patchouli, the sweetness, the spiciness, it's so rich and so decadent. When I'm talking about Xerjoff fragrances that are so addictive that they keep me coming back for more, there is Mamluk, there is More Than Words, there is 1861 Renaissance, there is Naxos, but there's something about this fragrance where I will look at all of my Xerjoff fragrances lined up, and 8 times out of 10, I'll say to myself, yeah, let's go with Tony Iommi. I find myself wearing this one so often. As a matter of fact, it's made #1 on several of my lists in the past. Now, the next one is a bit controversial. I do have to admit, I really like this one. By Edition de Parfum Frederic Malle is Musk Ravageur. Composed by Maurice Roussel, the master of including conflicting ingredients or dichotomous ingredients, but just making them work so well. This one has the vanilla, the tonka bean, some gourmand ingredients, but cloves in the opening. Very bright and herbal. I love the opening. It is so addictive for me. This is probably the most polarizing fragrance on this entire list, so you gotta try it for yourself. If you have a Saks or whatever other, retailer carries it, see if you could try it in person before committing to a full-size bottle. Now, the #1 fragrance on this list, the opening is to die for. It's bright, it's effervescent, it's citrusy, it's professional. It's so elegant. The compliments I get on this fragrance are through the roof. Not my most complimented fragrance from this brand, but there's something about the opening that just smells like, wow, I want to take a deep lungful of this stuff. So addictive, and one of the reasons why is because I know a lot of people, when they try it for the first time, that initial spray has them hooked immediately. That is 100% certainly the effect that it's had on me. Green Irish Tweed by Creed. I was gonna put Aventus, although as much as I love Aventus, I'm getting a little bored of it. Royal Oud also has a very magnetic opening. Silver Mountain Water, I enjoy it consistently throughout the day. I wouldn't say it has an addictive opening per se. Green Irish Tweed, the violet, the citrus, the Calabrian bergamot, the lemon verbena, the smooth woods that are occupying the base. One of the best fragrances ever. 1985 release, composed by Pierre Bourdon. You know all about it now. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed this list. Hey, let me know. Leave a comment down below. What are your most addictive fragrances? Always interested in hearing from you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell, give it a thumbs up, and check out ScentSplit if you would like to try a sample or a decant of any one of these fragrances. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.